Eintracht Frankfurt's press conference the day before the semi-final here at the London Stadium. Tomorrow we'll have West Ham United v Eintracht Frankfurt. And we are looking forward to the match, and we welcome everybody who's watching us today. Here now we've got Oliver Glasner, the manager, and Jibril. So you took the flight from Frankfurt, but tell us, how did you prepare the team for tomorrow? Yes, hello to everybody. The last 2 days we looked at West Ham, and in the training sessions today and yesterday we also tried out some tactical maneuvers. We made sure that everybody was fit. We've got one case of sickness, but apart from that, we've got everybody available. Jakic and Ndika, unfortunately, are suspended, but of course, we are very much looking forward to the semi-final. We are in good form, and we're looking forward to the match against West Ham tomorrow. We're well prepared, we are confident, but at the same time, we also have a lot of respect for West Ham. Jibril, you are fit again as well. You're ready for tomorrow. How do you feel about tomorrow? Well, we're all looking forward to the match tomorrow. Of course, we enjoyed the victory in Barcelona. I had some physical problems, so I'm very, very glad that I can actually play tomorrow. Well, and that means we can now actually start the questions for Oliver Glasner and Jibril. So, first question. Mr. Glasner and Jibril, a question. We're in England. English football is something we see with a lot of admiration. How much do you look forward to actually playing an English team? Well, the most important point is that it's the semi-final of the Europa League. So we will play any opponent. Of course, the Premier League, and we've got two teams from the Premier League in the Champions League semi-final. Last night, I watched Manchester City v Real Madrid. And West Ham United has now established itself in the top third of the Premier League as well in the last few years. So that means they are doing good work. We know we've got Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea. They also won the Champions League. So the Premier League is really the top of the European League. So it's wonderful that we can now measure ourselves against an English team. We are now in the semi-final, the four best teams in the Europa League. West Ham United have earned their spot here, but we've also deserved our spot here in the semi-final. So it'll be a fantastic duel. Next question. Good evening, Mr. Glasner and Jibril. Mr. Glasner, you've said it'll be a top duel. So what exactly do you expect? How do you think the opponent will play? What do you need to be successful tomorrow? And Jibril, question. You've got some friends here in England. Have you received any tips? Yes, Granit Xhaka actually wanted to come here and watch the match. In the end, he couldn't do that. But we've had a fantastic analysis provided by our own analysts, so we don't need any additional tips. We know that English football offers a lot of intensity. There'll be more intensity compared to the Spanish teams we've played against. So we have to be ready for this physical battle. Yes, and West Ham United are a team who are kind of similar to the way we play. They are a very compact team. They've kept 6 clean sheets in the Europa League. Chelsea also found it very difficult to break down West Ham in the last league match. They are very strong physically. They can accelerate the game. They can play vertical passes, one of the most dangerous teams in the Premier League. So that'll be a challenge for us. But we want to take on that challenge. We know it'll be a difficult match, but the last few matches weren't easy either. But our approach is normally the same. We have plenty of respect. We've analysed West Ham very carefully, and now we just need to translate what we've learned into action on the pitch. Our approach will be the same. We want to win the match. Next question. A question for both of you. Something regarding the emotions. You played in Barcelona, then the Bundesliga. Now you're here in London. Is a flight of 1 hour enough to actually get you into this mood for the Europa League semi-final? Well, it was clear after the match against Hoffenheim, the draw. Well, we didn't dwell on that. We looked ahead straight away, and it was clear that we're all looking forward to this competition, to the semi-final. We're satisfied with what we've shown so far in this competition. So the match was on Saturday, then we watched Chelsea-West Ham on Sunday, so we got ready for the semi-final. We also made sure we set up our training correctly. That was really the way we prepared, and the motivation is clear. You're in the semi-final of a European competition. It's something that is quite special unless you play for one of the major clubs. So it's something extraordinary, really, for Eintracht Frankfurt as well. We were in a semi-final 3 years ago, but before that, we hadn't been in that position for a long time. So in that sense, it is a very special game, and that's something you can feel as well. As for me, you started your career hoping for those matches. You can feel the excitement. So we don't need to provide additional motivation for anybody in the squad. We all know that we have a fantastic chance here to achieve something incredible. And that's something that is reflected in the team. The mood is very positive. The whole city is also looking forward to this match. Next question. It looks as though West Ham was taking it a bit more slowly against Chelsea. Does it make it easier or more difficult for you? No, they just changed the personnel in the attack, but the defence might look exactly the same. Souček played the whole 90 minutes, and of course then we can also expect Declan Rice, who also played 30 minutes against Chelsea. West Ham United quite often play with a back four if the opponent has the same system, but they can also switch to a 3 at the back. And that's something they've done all season. So we've prepared for both systems. Of course, against Chelsea, they, rotated some of the personnel, but the players are always different. Yarmolenko is not a bad player either. And the other strikers are also good players. So West Ham, yes, is a very dangerous team. They are very physical. And tomorrow they'll be at home in their own stadium. And they'll try to push us back. They'll try to play a very intensive, at an intensive tempo, and it'll be a cracking match. Next question. Mr. Glasner, you just talked about the defensive system of the opponent. At the weekend, you didn't want to tell us exactly who's going to play tomorrow. I'm not prepared to tell you yet, no. Then another question for Gibril. Well, we've talked a lot about an intensive match. How do you prepare as a player? Do you prepare in a special way, or is it just another normal game and you've done it so many times you know how to prepare for this? Or is there an extra push to get ready for that kind of match? No, we analyze the team before the match, so you prepare yourself. We're prepared for longer balls as well. So we might not have as much time on the ball. So yes, we have to prepare. You have to prepare yourself for that. But of course, we don't put on different studs now or whatever. No, that is not the case. We are also a team that plays with high intensity. We are strong in the one-on-one duels, and we'll have a lot of fun tomorrow in the match. The batteries are running out in the lights, so the request was to replace the batteries in order to avoid the flickering of the lights. So now we're getting a replacement for the battery. So just to keep you informed, we're just replacing the battery in order to stop the lights from flickering. Gibril just says, I hope this won't happen in the stadium tomorrow on match day. Let there be light. I thought the Stadium of Light was in Sunderland, but hey, we've got light here now as well. Next question. We also listened to West Ham's press conference, Mark Noble and David Moyes. They also said that for them it is the biggest match of their career as well. Now, it's difficult for you after having beaten Barcelona, but still, how do you assess the game tomorrow? Second point, in Barcelona, we had 30,000 Eintracht Frankfurt fans. Tomorrow we'll have maybe 3,000. Does that also affect your performance, possibly, compared to having 30,000 in the stadium? Well, first of all, we are grateful to every single fan who will support us today. I thought in Olympiacos in Athens we had 1,500 fans, 3,000 in Seville, I think, and they also supported us sufficiently to win the matches, be successful. Well, in Barcelona we saw, of course, more people. But at the end of the day, 3,000 supporters, they'll make a lot of noise. I think the 57,000 West Ham fans will also make a lot of noise, and that's, of course, a wonderful atmosphere you can expect for a semi-final. For me, it is the most important match of my career because it's a semi-final. It's always more than a quarter-final. So now we have a chance to reach the final of the Europa League. So for me, it is really the biggest match of my career, and I hope we'll have an even bigger match in a few weeks' time. Question for Mr. Glasner. You said that West Ham and Eintracht Frankfurt are quite similar in many ways. Can you tell me exactly how? And can you also tell me what Frankfurt needs to do better in order to win? Well, at the end of the day, games are decided in the penalty boxes and the penalty areas. So we need to defend our penalty area very well. West Ham managed to push a lot of players forward. They have the wingers, the strikers, and Souček comes from deep. He can also score goals. And it's also a team that defends their own penalty area very well. So we'll need to work hard to maybe get to the ball a little bit before the defender. That's something we saw in the Chelsea match against West Ham. One chance was enough to win the game. So we need to be efficient as well. Dead ball situations will also be decisive. We are dangerous after set pieces, but West Ham as well. We are a team that really gets people quickly forward into the channels. Then the question is who can make the most of a space, who can make the most of the gaps, who can close the gaps better. So I think both teams will have similar challenges, and the team that manages those challenges better will win in the end. 3 years ago, you were not part of this. Here in London, we were at the Stamford Bridge, and unfortunately, the dream ended there. Gibril, did you talk about this? Because a lot of the players probably remember that, and you can also learn from such an experience. We didn't really talk too much about Chelsea. We were really looking forward to the semi-final tomorrow. We weren't looking into the past too much. I mean, I can't talk about myself because I wasn't part of the match at the Stamford Bridge, but even those players who were there didn't say much about the previous semi-final. And we've been focused on the match tomorrow. We've got a fantastic positive attitude, and we know that our team can achieve something incredible, and that's really our focus now. Next question. To achieve something incredible, 3 matches, possibly. How hungry are you? How motivated are you to achieve that title, something that you wouldn't have expected after the first match against Fenerbahce? Yes, it's true. Many didn't really believe that we could get as far as this, but we had that belief right from the start. I didn't play in Barcelona, but I was in the changing rooms, and I looked at the players, and when I looked them in the eyes, I knew we were going to win this. Because I could see that everybody was 100% focused, that the belief was there. And the same is something I could see this week as well. If you've got so much belief and if you're so focused, then you can really achieve great things. All right, one more question from Julian Franzke, Kicker. Yeah, the question regarding the defense, you just said no, but I would like to know more. In Barcelona, you had confidence in Toure, and of course he's right-footed, but could you also play on the left-hand side of a central defense? Is that possible? Yes, I've got confidence in him. He could even play in that position, but I could also trust Hinteregger or Hasebe, and Da Costa has also played in that position. So these are the options we've got, and one of those options we will actually put on the pitch tomorrow. Next question. When you look at the Europa League season, then you have to observe that Frankfurt hasn't been beaten yet. Can you explain that? Well, Gibril has already mentioned it. Our first match against Fenerbahce shows how the team has evolved. We had a big transformation in the summer. The whole club really changed a lot. And that is also a new beginning, symbolic of our journey now during the Europa League season. We were lucky to win 1-0 against Fenerbahce. Then we worked hard over the following weeks. The people really showed great determination. And very often we scored goals in the last minute against Antwerp, for example. In additional time, we scored the draw. We scored the winning goal in Olympiacos in additional time. And at Betis, we also scored a late goal, and that just shows how determined we are. It shows how much belief we have in ourselves and our way of football. West Ham is a difficult opponent, but I think we are also a difficult opponent for West Ham and any other team, and that's something that that distinguishes us from others. And we will play exactly the same way as we always do tomorrow. We will use our strengths, exploit them as best as possible, and we want to, in the end, beat West Ham. That's our approach, an approach that has evolved over many months after having secured successes, and that's why we are here today. And 2 more questions. Mr. Glasner, it's been impressive. You've mentioned the successes, but also Barcelona was very impressive. Anybody who beats Barcelona can beat anybody. Is that right? Or do you think it's more difficult now because the opponents now take you a little bit more seriously than they might have done before? Neither nor. I think in the second round and the quarter final, you take every opponent seriously. Every club, every player will confirm that. Barcelona, that's water under the bridge. It's a beautiful memory. It will be forever in my life, of course. But in the last few days, I haven't really reflected on that anymore. And that's right, because now we need to look ahead. We can't say what worked well in the past will work well in the future. No, we need to really be ready for the challenges of tomorrow, and those challenges will be different from the challenges against Hoffenheim, Union Berlin, and Barcelona. But in the Europa League, we've played 5 times away from home. We've won 4 of those, so we've got a lot of confidence. And tomorrow we'll play as we have in the past, and we'll really play to win. We can beat the leading club in Greece. That's something we've proven. We could draw in Turkey, the second place team, and we can also win in Spain at the top teams. So that makes us confident. The approach might be slightly different tomorrow. And generally, we will also need an even better performance because West Ham will give us different challenges. Finally, a different question. We had a lot of fans and family as well in Barcelona. So who has accompanied you here to London and who's expressed their support for you already in your circle? My girlfriend, of course, has expressed her support for me, of course. But, of course, we'll have a lot of support. And maybe we'll get a few more videos sent as well. I don't know. But we know that we have a lot of fans at home as well. So my daughter is now in school because the Easter holiday is over. Others need to work, so it's not easy to take 3 days off every 2 weeks. So the personal circle of supporters will be a little smaller, but I'm sure the 3,000 supporters who will be in the stadium will really support us with a lot of noise. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much to everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow in the London Stadium.